a country that has been struggling with a foundation for 23 years cannot be a serious country. And there has to be a need for some speed. So the 10th Assembly must immediately address this problem of continuous talking about Nigeria. Remember what Bola Ige said about the survival of Nigeria, and it rings, because I was there that day, it still rings in my head, that in a situation of a political arrangement such as Nigeria's, the first question is, just like I have a wife, do I want to be married? Question number one. So in Nigeria, do we want to be one? It's an assumption that we want to be. It's a terribly big and wrong assumption, because when I went to Croatia, Croatia was part of the 6 countries that formed Yugoslavia. Right now they're doing very well. Macedonia is doing very well. Slovenia is doing very well. Slovakia is doing very well. So nothing says that we must be one country. Nothing. It's not sacrosanct that we must be one country. If in being one country you have all the killings you have in Jos, in Abuja, everywhere, what's the point being one country? So that's why, in looking at President Tinubu's governance program, I would remind him of a structural engineer who says, I can't build this house, I can't build Nigeria on the basis of a weak governance structure. It is the most important and fundamental process if you want a country to grow. So Nigeria's governance structure is very weak. First is, any nation not at peace, and I always like to use the analogy of marriage. If, for instance, every day you get up and you and your wife are fighting, you can't have peace.
If some part of the country, I don't want to be specific, if they feel strongly about an ideology, a religious, I think they can restrict it to their area. And I think maybe Tinubu should do well by developing this issue of regional autonomy where everybody should organize themselves, or at worst, let the country actually go apart, and you can do whatever you want in your area. I've come to that conclusion that I don't think we can stay together because of this very strong belief about religion. So it's either we stay together, or people should mind their religion and stay where they are and practice what they want. It's so discouraging to know that at this century, we are still at this level of religious understanding. We are still at this level where I would say most of the things that we call religion, either Christianity, Islam, are basically some historical books that were plagiarized by most of the religions. I don't want to be specific. Now, these are ancient historical books that were plagiarized, and people decided to use them to either enslave you or take over your land and so on. And I'm really discouraged because at this level, Nigerians are so uneducated when it comes to religion. That the Arabs, the British, the Romans, they use religion actually to capture your state, to enslave you. If we look at most of the religions, I don't want to be specific, they all practice slavery and also. So for us to be at this point where we're supposed to be talking about the hunger that is pervasive in Nigeria today, the inflation rate, the poverty, we are basically sitting in the hallowed chamber, and what we can discuss is that they want to remove personal from something, and that's what they are going there to do. When people are dying, people are committing suicide, families are collapsing, and they will sit down there and start talking about removing personal, so that they can basically Islamize the country finally, because once you remove that personal, technically now Nigeria is Islamized.
All right, I want to be able to get the understanding of that, because the sections that were the places that they were looking for amendments to, sections 24, 262, 277, and 288. And what I'm seeing here, Ali Musao, at the time when he suggested these changes in the 1999 Constitution, removing the word personal whenever it is mentioned from the section, allowing Islamic law to stand on its own. Explain to me the correlation between that and Islamizing the country, just so we can understand where you're coming from on this debate.
Yeah, where I'm coming from is very simple. We may think it's semantic, but it is not. Let's not just talk about issue of marriage, things that are personal, maybe inheritance, maybe divorce, But if you look at the antecedents, Sanfala started this by introducing something that is taking care of criminal laws. Okay? So now they want to extend it. Instead of them to actually discuss the 1999 Constitution, it is a fraud already. That Constitution is a fraud. Now what you are doing now, you want to start, advancing the interest of those religious groups to actually now confirm that Nigeria is an Islamic state.
I read a book several years back, Why Nations Fail, by Darren Acemoglu and James Robinson, two professors of economics. They studied why some countries are developed and why some are not. The basic thing they found, the political evolution of each country. So they found out that in most countries, the natural tendency as humans is you have a small group of people in the elite class. They control political power. Then they use political power to channel economic resources to benefit themselves and the people close to them. That's where Africa still is. That's where we still are. The countries that have been the most powerful, they broke the power of that elite class. Right? They broke it. That's why they introduced democracy and introduced equality as a value. Started from France, that French Revolution thing. Until you do
the
that,
price of bread.
Thank you. So right now, the citizens are shouting and crying. Some people are making money they've never made before. They're making billions they've never made before. The political class, the elite class will favor itself. But we have a beautiful model coming out of the Middle East where they don't even have democracies. They are monarchies. Why are they developing? Because they have an elite class that has conscience. Elite class that feels for the people. Nobody voted them in, you can't vote them out. They just chose themselves to be good to their people, to empower their people. It's so sad, I must say, that when we look at our own elite class, it seems as if it cannot even redeem itself. But we can only appeal. And honestly, I'm appealing. I've become part of the elite class now. I set up a leadership school 22 years ago to help push some people into the elite class, to have leaders that have conscience. Right? I'm appealing to those who have found themselves in positions now where they have power, political power. Look, at the end of the day, they will pack you inside a box. My dad passed some few months back. We buried him about 4 weeks ago. And as I looked at his coffin, I remember the title of a book that I read. Still in my library. It all ends up in the box.
Yeah.
So in our family, we love to play Monopoly, financial education game. And each time when we finish the game, we pack everything inside the box. Life is like that. They will pack you inside the box somewhere. You may use your political power to control the narrative, now control the media, not even allow anybody to say anything against you. You will go. And one day the truth will still come out. What will be your place in our history? What a huge opportunity we have in Nigeria, in Africa. Right? A whole continent is suffering. And I just want to appeal. It's time for us to have conscience. What else do you want to achieve in your life? It's a rare opportunity to be a leader at a high level.
You're welcome back. I know you must have watched and listened to what happened in the video now. You know that, okay, it has been long that we've been seeing that we are not one country, but many other people from the northern side, they normally come out to say we are one. They are using that we are one country to fight us. When these people who call themselves Islam or Christian, it's religion that is even the most problem that we have in here, because they have used a religion to confuse many people in this country, especially those one from the Islamic side, because the way their leaders use religion brainwash them. I don't think this country will ever be one, because even though we wanna be one, that religion will be see they among us, we never let us to be one. And say a country where we see it has many different people, I don't see that kind of country now go be one. The only thing where we say okay go fit benefit this country now be division and many other things where we see many people they agitate for. See some people they talk about regional government and some people they talk about restructuring. Say if you check out of all these things where we say okay we dey face for this country, if they want make this country better, it better make they restructure or regionalize this country for everybody to get peace for your own land, because of the way all these Fulani guys are buying our people. When we were trying to chase all these Fulani out of this country, people who claim to be religious were against us. Them say that okay, there is no way we would chase all these guys out. That is what they were saying, but now see what we're facing now. Now they have taken over everywhere. I don't think anyone can take them out of this country because of the way things are going now. If you carefully listen to what these guys have spoken in the videos, you will know that there is no way this country will succeed again. So let everybody go in own separate way. You will be saying the else now. If you have anything will be saying you want to concerning this, you should drop your own thoughts on inside comment section. And also if this is your first time, can you like, share, subscribe? Thank you.